All right, guys, we're back again for part 3 of the spawning fish here in Arizona. So, I failed to mention in the last one, God, it is my favorite time to fish. Like, I love that part of the spawn. I love that part of fishing. I think most of my friends know that when it comes to the spawn, I'm always excited to go fishing. I'm always excited to go fishing anyways. Nobody beats me to the lake when it comes to fishing, especially on guide trips. But I love to be out there, and I love to be out there and watching them. My biggest thing is I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter just as much as I am a fisherman. I don't get paid to go fishing as much as I get paid to go, or I don't get paid to go hunting as like I get paid to go fishing. But I love them both the same. And this part of the spawn, especially right now in the very middle of it, is my favorite because I get to go hunting all day long and I get to go catch fish. So I'm constantly looking for fish. I have, the two things that are probably one of the two things that I have that really, really help out are, a great pair of sunglasses. I use Costas. There's all different kinds of pairs here at Copperstate. You could get whatever you want, whatever feels the most comfortable on your face, but get something that's good. I think that glass is pretty good. Just has a little more crisp to it sometimes, but it's heavier. So it kind of goes both ways. You have to see what you like, what feels good to you, and what everyone sees differently. So that helps. The other thing is a hooded shirt. We have all kinds of hooded shirts here. That biggest thing when you're looking at a fish is to get that sun off your back, and you want to be looking down. You constantly want the sun at your back so that when you're looking at that fish, he has to look up and all he sees is the sunlight. You don't want your shadow to be in there, but you want him to look up at the sunlight so that he doesn't see your boat, doesn't see you stand up there as much, but he needs to be looking up, and you need to have that sun at your back so that you can really get a good look into the bed. And the farther off you can get, the better off you're going to be. So sometimes even if you don't see it perfectly, but you know where the bed is, you can kind of blind fish for it and start to get him to react and look at your bait. I use active target sometimes for fish. That's how far I get off of them, because I can watch them move around on their bed. And it depends. Like, every fish is different. Every pair of fish is different. Every lake is different. One lake, you're going to catch them all on a drop shot. The next lake, you're going to catch them all on a Ned rig, something that's touching the ground, a jig. Like I said, this swim bait, something like that. I also have a couple of big swim baits up here, like we talked before, the glide baits, because this is something that's the most threatening for them. So those big females are going to be threatened. These big females will also sit as they're getting ready to move up onto the bed. They'll sit on the docks or sit on the trees that are out away from it, and they're wanting to come in there, and you can get them to come up and look at your glide baits, and exactly now where those fish are at. Whether it be a multi-day tournament, that those fish are going to move up onto the beds because there's males up there that are already spawning, or vice versa, they're just getting ready to spawn. So another one, like I said, is starting to get something that's a little more threatening. This is great because it's small and it's easy for them to pick up and walk away with. But then again, like sometimes I'll put this little gilly on there, and I won't even put a hook in it. All I want to do is just get them mad. I'll pitch it in there, and I'll keep teasing the male until the female comes over. And then when she comes over, then I'll just pick up a Senko super fast, and I'll pitch the Senko in there, or a stick bait. I'll pitch that in there, and now all of a sudden the male comes and it starts to nip at the Senko. The female will come in there and just get it out of the way. So you always want that 1-2 punch, whether it be something small and then something big, like a glide bait, something along those lines. But boat positioning and watching your shadows and having a great pair of sunglasses is one of the biggest things that you could do. Start out, it's like being a painter. When you're a painter, you make sure that you have everything prepped, and then it makes the job easier. So if you're diligent about making sure that you're where you should be as far as your boat position and the way the sun is, at least that's the biggest part of it, or the very first part of it. So we got one more thing to talk about. We'll talk about the post-spawn next, and it's going to be a great spawning year, that's for sure. I can already feel it. So looking forward to it.